everybody, and welcome to day 28. Um, on this day 28, I wanted to talk about something that, like, a lot of times we deal with it in private, or we deal with it uh, on our own, or whatever, and that's anger. And I want to say that, number one, it's okay to be angry sometimes, right? It's okay to let out this emotion of anger. But where it becomes an issue is that as you get older and you start realizing certain things about yourself, you become angry. You become angry at things you didn't do in your 30s that maybe you should have done in your 40s, and you look at yourself at 50 and you get angry. I find myself, I got a little deeper into this in the book on 50 Days Until I'm 50, when I talk, I believe it's chapter 7, where I'm discussing the whole issue of fear. Like, there's a video out about fear, but in this chapter 7 in the book about fear, in the chapter about fear, I get deeper into my fears and my anger with what I'm faced to fear. I get angry with, sometimes with the fact that I just was never really able to get the whole relationship thing right. I and I say me because it takes two to tango. It takes two to succeed in anything that involves someone else. I could have picked better. I could have done things a lot different, and I could have been smarter about my choices. But I get angry because there was so much time wasted on the wrong. Like, there was so much time wasted on not dating, or giving people time that maybe you shouldn't have given them time. Then I get angry just about my current situation. Like, I just believe life has stages. You have kids, they go off to college, you got your second win, you do this, and I find myself getting very angry at situations that seem to be unfair. So I've taught, it's no secret, you guys know I take care of my mom and so forth, and I get angry at the lack of family support. I get angry that for whatever reason we just can't seem to come together and just do things where we're evenly taking care of a family member that's in need. So I get angry when I'm hearing other people go on vacation and I can't get away because I have too much to take care of in order to just go away for 5 days. It actually would cost me quite a bit of money to just take a vacation. So I get angry. And then I had some financial issues that I got angry about because it wasn't something I did. But what I find is that life is a balance. And it's okay to get angry at certain things. And it's okay to be mad at certain things, people, and different things like that. Where it's not okay is when you're living every day in anger. If every day you find yourself in this position where you're angry about something, it is time for change. And I find myself in a position where I'm starting to really hate dealing with angry people. Like, people that are just mad every single day, something negative every day. And then you even see it on social media where somebody's always got something negative slide to say because of their own personal insecurities and problems and issues and different things. So they only thing they do is hide behind that typing, and they let their anger out on you in a sly way. I always say, people, like, I love the subliminal posts where people say stuff, they're talking about you, but it's their personal anger. So it's like you just want to kind of pull yourself away. Like, I find myself just struggling with, how do you be a friend to people when every single day it's something negative. Like I struggle with that because it's like sometimes I just don't like, oh my God, like I just don't want to deal. And I think it's because I've lived such a high amount of years in that negative state. You know, if it wasn't one issue, it was another issue. And then if it wasn't me dealing with a horrible ex-husband, and then it was that issue and this issue. So I think when you're going through these issues, and then you find yourself at peace. You're at peace. It's almost like it becomes a mechanism that you want to protect. So then when people come along and they're angry and this and that, you start to feel a little like, whoa, Nelly, like, you know, stay out of my area because I can't deal with the negativity. I find that out a lot about me. Like, I get angry with stuff and I'm quick to get out of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't take my anger into the next day. I don't wake up angry. I don't go to bed angry. You know, I just try to deal with whatever it is. See, one thing I'm extremely good at is a solutionist. And I used to didn't be that way. Like, I was always out of sight, out of mind. I would get angry because I didn't deal with something and therefore, but now I actually deal with things right away. I don't wait for the anger to build up. I go into action plan. And that's what you want to do in 2019. Don't ponder on anything. If there is something that you have to deal with it, whether it's financially, mentally, physically, I don't care what it is, go into action, because I'm going to tell you something. Choosing not to deal with something is going to make you more angry. I don't care what it is. You could be in a relationship and you're just dragging this relationship along and just dragging it along, knowing that you don't want to be in it. And you get angry because you don't want to be in it anymore, but at the same token, you just keep dragging it along. And and the same goes for women waiting for those proposals. Like, you know, you've been with this person for X amount of time, you've talked about marriage, everything's going well, and you get angry because the end result is that they're not producing what you're asking for, what you want. So you got to look at things. If there are things, think about this. If there are things that are constantly making you angry and it's the same thing over and over again, you've got to rethink your approach. You've got to look at things differently. I've said this time and time again on other videos for my women that are single and have not, and I've done this to myself. I looked at this myself and I've got angry about it. But the thing that I've learned in my 50 years is, what if the problem is not them, it's you? Because, you know, I've said all along, I can get angry at anything I want. Like, I tell you, like, I've gotten angry when I was dating, and, like, I could date a guy, and, you know, we follow each other on social media, and, like, you know, he never made an effort for me, but then I see him, you know, posting pictures with him and his new girl, and I get angry because I'm like, okay, well, what the hell was wrong with me? And then I say to myself, they can't all be wrong. And then, don't get me wrong, it's a possibility it just wasn't a great fit. But I'm saying, as the years progress, or the months progress, and the weeks progress, if you're going through this process and you still single, and your answer to that is you get angry because you believe every single one of these men or every single one of these women have an issue, it ain't them in most cases. It's something with you. It is and what it is, if you fail to look at you and look at yourself and see what it is about you. I always say, ask people. You know, if you really want to know something about you and why someone didn't choose you, if you really open to it, I've done it. I've reached out to old people before I got into a relationship and I was still single, and I was just like, well, why you pick her over me? And I would get some answers, and sometimes it's answers, you know, that people didn't like, that maybe uh uh they admired the fact that I wanted to know, and sometimes it ain't something you always want to hear. So, but it's a learning process. You can get angry about it because sometimes, some of the stuff, it just really, some of the people that I reached out to, it wasn't anything. Like, it just was, or put it this way, they didn't feel comfortable saying anything to me. But I've had other people say stuff to me, whereas, number one, they don't like this whole social media and all the attention and all this. They don't like that. There's a lot of men that don't like that. I've had men say this is too much. The makeup, the heels and the clothes, and all that. Some of them prefer plain Jane. Even though they went out with me, they just kind of felt like it was a situation where it would always have to be, and then I say, well, you're just not accepting of who I am. Excuse me, that's your problem, not mine. But I've had people go as far as telling me I'm too needy. I've had other people tell me that the situation with my mom was not something they wanted to deal with long term. And I respect people's honesty. I just wanted to get a feel, because honestly, being a mature woman and moving into your 50s, the maturity about it is understanding stuff within yourself and understanding things that you can fix, or understanding things that just are, you either take it or leave it. But don't get mad when people turn around and you still can't be successful in the relationship thing. You've got to take a chance to say, I'm going to look within myself. I'm going to get angry with myself, and I'm going to do something about it. I'm not going to be phony to the rest of the world. I'm not going to be phony relationships, saying this, saying that, when none of it's really true. Because if you out there on social media and trying to, or you talking to people and trying to perceive something that which you are not, that means you're not comfortable with who you are. So get angry about it, because if you got a lot of people about, yeah, I got a man and I got this type of man and he's doing this, and it's a lie. I got this house in it and you don't, and you doing this and you not, that means you not comfortable with who you are. Point blank. So get angry about it. Because the one thing, that's what I love about doing these videos and stuff, is I'm totally transparent. I am very comfortable with who I am, what I release, and what I talk about and so forth. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be, but I'm trying to change people's lives and just make them see that it's okay to get angry, but make sure you directing that anger to the right person. Make sure the part in which you're angry about is not something that's got something to do with you. There are going to be certain situations in your life that you are just point blank going to get angry. But don't stay in that anger too long. Don't go to sleep angry, and definitely don't wake up angry. Because if you woke up, that means you definitely have a purpose for a new day. And you are not to bring in what you had the night before into your new day. You are not supposed to do that. Especially if you lay next to someone with you. If it takes you all night to sit there and have a conversation, you are not to go to bed angry at each other. Because what if you go to bed angry and that person laying next to you doesn't wake up? Or what if the person you got mad and pissed off with, they died the next day? So think about what you're getting angry about and take action about it. Don't go into your tomorrow angry. Look within yourself, and you're going to see a whole new you. All right, everybody.